Hey guys, it's Wellness Wednesday. Wellness Wednesday. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, how are you guys doing? I'm gonna prop this up. Hopefully this works. Y'all see the sun glistening out here? Your girl done came to Dominican Republic. Woo! Hey, so it's Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Cherette. I'm here every Wednesday to talk about wellness. This week, I'm gonna talk about messing up and learning from it. I just dropped something. My bad, you guys. So I've been talking about this a lot on my Instagram and Facebook, but I recently wrote a book and I messed it up, y'all. Like it was so great. It was great. But when I got the first printed copy, I was like, it it was just madness. Okay, like I printed the book and it's not back. Like, so when you make a book and you flip the pages and you read page 1, page 2, my book, every page has its own page. So like every other page is blank. And then there are like all these extra blank pages in it. So the format was really messed up. But when I got it, it it's been interesting how because I did it, the universe is still conspiring for my desires. For some reason, no one cares that I messed up. And so I just want to speak to going on your journey and messing up and continuing anyway. It's also something I'm actually experiencing now in the Dominican Republic. It's like I can mess up my Spanish, I can mess up the order, and I'm still going to make it. So in life, a lot of the times, we make decisions and we do things. And a lot of the times we hold ourselves back because of fear. Completing things and being successful, especially when you come from a way of life that maybe it's not encouraged, maybe it's not talked about, um, maybe it's different. A lot of us come from households, families who aren't about making action to be successful. Like a lot of our parents are like, why would you be an entrepreneur? Just go get a job. Or why would you go back to school to get a master's degree to be somebody when you could just work the job that you have? People don't understand success, being successful, going after what you want because it's not something that's readily talked about or taught to us. So a lot of the times when we're presented in situations, it's hard. Like it's literally we're scared to succeed because that has always been taught. Like doing something new, doing something outside of the boundaries of what we're used to is really looked at as a bad thing a lot of the times. Think about like, well, I know, so for me, so I'm in Dominican Republic right now, right? I'm co-hosting a retreat that starts on Friday. When I first started traveling, I went to 65 destinations in 3 years, y'all. And when I first started traveling, people were like, why? Why are you going to this place? Like, it's dangerous. You could die. Like, at one point, excuse me, I'm looking for the charger, y'all. At one point, I literally had to stop telling my parents that I was leaving the country. So, what would happen was I would leave the country and I would just tell my sister. I was like, I'm not telling them anymore because every time I would go somewhere, they'd be like, oh, well, don't you know people are dangerous? You could die. You could get kidnapped. And it was like, you know what? I'm taking this new journey myself. I don't need you talking about I'm getting kidnapped. I don't need your fear because that's not mine. And so I stopped telling them. And when I stopped telling them, I would leave and go places. And then they would be sad that I didn't tell them. So they calmed down. I went on so many vacations and I came back. I wasn't raped or trafficked. And so what happened was I actually became successful at traveling. And I say all that to say, when you start a journey to be successful, no one can tell you what success is but you. But when you start the journey, a lot of the times, people around you are going to respond out of fear. And that's okay. That's great because that means you're doing something different. If people aren't concerned, you're probably living a life pretty similar to them. So, aside from the fear, you go anyway. That's hard in itself, okay? Making the decision to do what you want to do is a hard decision. But what happens when you make that decision, I'm telling y'all, I don't know why. I'll let you know my lover's perception on this. I don't know why, but when you start doing something and you change and you start going towards success, this happens every time, y'all, I promise. If you're doing the right thing, stuff is gonna hit the fan, y'all. It's gonna hit the fan. You're gonna be like, why? Why did I choose to do this? Things are gonna start going amok. I mean, like, whatever you can think of. I was listening to a business coach, and she actually mentors people who are six-figure earners into seven-figure earners. Excuse me. So she had a client. He made six figures in his regular life, like not his regular life, but working, and he wanted to leave his job and start a company. The day he decided, the exact day he decided, I'm not going to work for anyone anymore. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to start my own company. He goes to work. He gets fired. He gets fired. So he's leaving work. And that same day, not one, but two tires blew out on his way home. He gets home, a kid's sick, and the wife is like fed up. She's talking about leaving. The same day, you guys. So whenever you make the right decision to align yourself and to be successful for yourself, things are going to mess up. You're going to mess up. Things around you are going to mess up. Look at this as an opportunity. It's a good thing. Because in the mess ups, we must learn. If you're not learning, you can't be successful. I was speaking to my lover about this the other day when I was thinking about talking about it here. And he says that he puts it to, would it be the law of gravity or velocity? Maybe both. But he says when he was little, he used to hop on trains and jump off them. I don't know why anyone would do that, but it's life, no judgment zone. But I don't know. I'm not really sure why anyone would do that. But his observation was that the moment that you hop on the train, when you're going from a slower pace to a faster pace, there is um, a period where your body has to readjust and understand the velocity in which it's now at. So you hop on the train and your body's like, whoa. And it has to readjust to you being the same speed as the train. Same thing happens when you hop off the train. When you hop off the train, you're going from a faster pace to a slower pace. And you get on the ground, you'll probably fall and tumble when you decide to get off the train. You're gonna fall, you're gonna tumble, your knees will probably be scraped up, you're probably gonna roll around in the street a little bit. And not only that, but your body will still feel like it's moving. So you'll get injured in the process, and then your body has to recalibrate to what actually is happening. This is what happens when you decide to quit your job. This is what happens when you decide to go vegan, to give up meat, to be a singer in your career. Whatever you decide, when you make that decision, your life has to change to the switch of velocity. And that's okay. It's actually great. It means that you are literally going in the right direction. That is the universe telling you, good job. As humans, we learn more from messing up than doing good. If you play basketball, you learn more from your losses than your wins. You know that. York 2700 says he used to jump out of elevators until, oh, I don't see the rest of that, York, if you want to type it in. But even if you're jumping out of elevators, you're going to see the same exact thing happening. So it's really a beautiful thing. When you mess up, when things are messing up, it's a time to reflect, to go in. And this is why every time you do something, someone always says you need to know your why. Because when you hop off the plane, you might even break a leg, but you have to know why your leg's being broken. It's not just because the train is fast, although it is, but you hopped off the train for a reason. It's not because you just wanted to get off the train. Maybe you're leaving your 9 to 5 and you want to free up your time and be with your kids. That's your why. So that makes it so that the broken leg doesn't feel so bad because you know why your leg is breaking. So when you decide to do something and you're messing up, things are going wrong, you're feeling like you got to give up, know that this is the very instance that the universe is saying, good job, my child. Good job. Life boils down to perspective. You can have two people and the same thing happens to them. Two people who grew up in the hood, both parents are gone. One person can be stricken with grief, and one person can be motivated. Their life is going to be two different lives. Now, here's the thing with perspective. There's no right or wrong in perspective. No one's blaming anyone for being grief stricken when they come from a situation and both parents are gone. We understand that. No one's going to blame the hustler for hustling because both of their parents are gone. We understand that. So there's no right or wrong in perspective. There just is. But your perspective leads to your destiny. And if your destiny is success, you cannot give up. You cannot give up. Because if you're giving up, then you're not succeeding. The other day on my Instagram, I was talking about passive versus massive action. Massive action is the ability to continue to do something until you succeed. I'm writing a book and I'm going through massive action right now. When I got my first print, y'all, I was like, what the world? This looks crazy. I could have gave up. And you know what would have happened is my massive action of writing the book would have turned passive and I would have failed at writing the book. But since I believe in massive action, I got the book and I saw an opportunity. So now I'm actually going to go back to the book, write more. And because of all the blank pages in my book, I'm actually going to create journals sections so that people can actually write. So I took this opportunity for my mess up and I turned it into a blessing and a learning opportunity. And that's what we continuously have to do in life. That is the very step to success. And it doesn't matter what your success is. Yes, York 2700 said, life's a process before and after, on and about whatever you do. Take a deep breath and process. Yes, yes, I totally agree with that. And that, York, a lot of the times, honestly, that's the difference between us succeeding and failing. It's taking a moment to breathe and to process. Because if you're not processing, then you're reacting. If I would have reacted to my book, my reaction would have been like, F this. This is messed up. This is trash. I'm throwing this away. It's not going to work. But since I'm taking massive action, I'm learning, I take a deep breath and I process it. And I'm like, you know what? This is an opportunity for it to be better. And literally, you can do this in any situation. Last year, I had to leave. I said I had to, but I did. I had to leave my spouse, my lover, 5 years. And it came to a point where I realized I fucked up. I realized I was with someone who wasn't aligned with me. I didn't know when I should have left, but I knew I should have left at some point. And I had to take massive action. I knew I did. It took me about a year, and it was painful. But when I took the massive action, I had to change my perception. Because at first I was really reactive. I was like, you're not doing this for me. You. And I had to take a deep breath and process what was going on. And what I felt in that moment was that nothing was being done towards me. My perception immediately changed. I was able to process the relationship. And it really wasn't about him. It was about me, my success, what I needed. And because I was able to breathe and process, I was able to leave that situation. And now my whole life is like booming with success. As soon as I left the relationship that wasn't aligned with me, I was literally able to take massive action towards my success. And to York 2700's point, it was all because I sat down, I took a breath, and I processed. That's what we have to do when things are going wrong, when it feels uncomfortable, when you don't know what to do. Sit down, take a breath, and process it. Because where you see that something is messing up, it's really there to help you, to guide you, to tell you maybe you need to sit your ass down. So in everything we do, all the mess ups, all the triumphs, all the successes, all the failures, we take them and we learn from them. The universe is saying, job well done. And you have the choice to perceive it as such. And when you do, you'll be able to process. It feels so much better. It feels like everything is here to help. I say it all the time. The universe is conspiring for my desires. I want my beer to get cold, y'all. I mean, hot. It's almost there. El Presidente. Apparently, that's what they drink here. It's gonna come. Yes, the universe conspiring for your desires. I say this all the time, but if you can understand for just 1 second what that means that you align with yourself and you have a desire. And the universe, that means everything on the earth, everything in your path, everyone, every person, every situation, everything starts to conspire for your desire. So if you understand that, you understand that all the bumps in the road, they mean something. They're there to help you. The breakup, the firing, the car breakdown, everything is literally here to push you forward into success. And when you start to view the world in that place, from that point of view, oh, y'all, life becomes a sweet symphony that only you can hear. You could get in a car wreck and live, and other people will be like, oh my God, why are you not scared to drive? Understand that that car wreck was literally there to help you. My sister and I said something early in life, never again will I. Learn my lesson. But I used to desire to get in a car wreck because I was like, yo, people are getting really big checks. Lord, be a car wreck and a check. I literally prayed that. At the same time, unbeknownst to us, my sister was like, God, I want a new truck. I don't want this truck anymore. Well, the night, Christmas night, I was going downtown to meet my cousins, and the universe will have it that a drunk driver ran 3 lights and T-boned me into my driver door. Everything you desire, the universe is here to help you out. The universe doesn't know good or bad, heaven and hell. The universe recognizes your desires. So even when we have subconscious desires, it will still conspire to meet it. I could have saw the accident as a bad thing, but as soon as I went home, I knew what happened. As soon as I went home, I knew what happened. My sister was like, oops. Sorry about that. My sister was like, she told me as soon as I came back home, like, sorry guys. As soon as I went home, my sister told me what she said about the new car, and I knew exactly what happened. Her desire and my desire lined up at that very moment, and the universe was like, granted. And it was granted. Every day we live, that is happening. And that's why it's so important to align yourself. Whether your desires are conscious or subconscious, it doesn't matter. The universe is conspiring to meet them. So in your journey, you want to understand that whatever side of the pendulum it's on is only to bring you back to the center. So I urge you, as things are going on in your life, take a moment and look at all of the mess ups, all the times that you think you're doing wrong, all the times that things don't turn out how you think they're supposed to. Take action anyway. Move in the midst of your fear. Be uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, it pushes you to new levels. I I'm in the know now that in your journey to success, the more times you mess up, the better. Because you're gonna have to mess up. So if you mess up 3 times, that means you're 3 times closer to where success is for you. I really urge you to start looking at things in this manner. It's so imperative to not be hard on ourselves and to let the universe help us. Because that, my friends, is what's happening every time something goes wrong. Do something new so you can fuck up right now and be successful. There's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut to happiness. The only way to be happy and successful is to connect and align with yourself, to do new things regardless of fear. And when you fuck up, look at it as it's helping you and continue. Continue, continue, continue. When the hurdle is in front of you, decide to jump it and continue the race. Every time there's a hurdle, if you were to stop, there's no way you can finish the race. And that's what happens every time things get hard. And we're like, you know what? Let me put this down for now. Things are going to be hard. Give thanks. If happiness was easy, we wouldn't even, how should I say, cherish it. Because we're humans. Do you know how often humans need to have aha moments, moments where things are messing up, and that's how they literally make change? Most people make health changes because they're sick. I did. I am one of those people. My father, he transitioned and transcended in 2016. Wow. I'll have to check that date. Was it 2000? It might have been 2018. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. I'd have to fact check that, y'all. I don't know. But when he transitioned, I was on a weight loss journey. And I was dibbling and dabbling with it. But when he transcended, I knew I had to change my diet. I could no longer eat meat. And I made the change, and my life was better for it and more successful. So that's my message today, guys. Move regardless of fear and fuck ups and be happy and successful. Okay? Thank you, guys. Toodles.